Growing up, I always wanted to do so many things.
I wanted to be a vet.
I wanted to be an actor.
I wanted to be a celebrity by any means necessary.
This is Spike Drop Vegas Heist.
I'm only here for a 2B. I don't really care about any other place.
Can't even comprehend what is going on, but I like it.
My name is Ollie, my gamer tag is Elfcoffee, and this is Wannabe.
Not me kind of going off there. I was not playing around when I said I was sweat playing.
What I wanted to be when I grew up, I think it was like a software engineer. It's still kind of the goal, but as the years have gone on, I think I've definitely geared more towards like gaming journalism or a professional esports player. My uncle, he works for a technology company, and I've always been super fascinated with like phones and computers and stuff like that, so I figured why not. It was mainly a lot of like gaming consoles because my parents are both like really big like gaming heads. Eventually, because my uncle was a bit more like well-off than the rest of the family given his like career, he was like, when Apple first came out, he had the iPhone, the iPod, the Mac, and so I was like, ooh, this is like really cool. And then I slowly became like obsessed with technology. My brother, he would come up to visit me and my dad for the summer, and he would bring his Xbox 360, and I didn't know anything about skateboarding until he's like, hey, Skate 3 is like a thing, and he let me play it, and I remember staying up from like the beginning of the day all the way until like 3 o'clock in the morning playing Skate, literally just jumping off of stuff. My favorite game from my childhood, Left 4 Dead. Vividly remember my dad being on Xbox Live with his group of friends screaming because he was being like chased after, and I would come downstairs from my room and just sit on the couch and like watch him play. We connected a lot over like the Connect Sports game for like the Xbox. When that came out, that was huge. We would literally have like family nights where we do like bowling and all the different sports. It would get heated just like people get heated with like Monopoly and stuff, but it was worth it. I'm from Chicago. When I was growing up in Chicago, obviously when you're younger, you don't really see all the bad parts. I grew up in the south suburbs, so like Dalton, Calumet City, like a little bit outside of Chicago, like the main area. It was okay until it wasn't okay. Like when I first started being like aware of what's going on, it was like I would go to get walked to school by my mom. She would take me to the park, and then slowly it became like, oh, we can't go to the park today, or I know I usually let you stay outside until the street lights come on, but like you gotta come inside, because it was crazy. We literally lived down the street from like a nightclub, and so there would actually be like shootings and stuff like that. So it was kind of rough, but my dad did the best he could to like give me like an Xbox to play or get toys, and we did have a backyard, so I would spend most of my time back there. Gaming really did give me sort of like a safe space and a way to escape, because like I said, it was fine until it wasn't. Family problems started coming up. My mom and dad were like not getting along very well, and so putting the headset on and just mindlessly playing games, whether it was my brother's PlayStation or like on the Xbox or even on the Super Nintendo that my granddad would let me use. It was something to kind of just block out the noise and block out like the negative like energy. I started getting into content creation like right when the pandemic happened. It was my senior year, and we got sent home for that 2 weeks, never went back. I started seeing people's Overwatch clips, and then I seen people's like gaming setups, and I was like, wait, I kind of want one of those. But it was during like when I started college, so I didn't have much. I had like a hand-me-down like 2008 monitor and a MacBook that I'd fixed up when I worked in the IT room at my high school, and then I would hook up my Xbox to the monitor and try to stream it from there. But I would like basically take pictures of the process along the way, so I showed on social media going from the hand-me-down monitor and MacBook all the way up to like my own gaming PC. And that's kind of what got me into content creation, because after I finished my PC, people were like, you know, you can like stream your video games like a higher quality now. It's like, oh, really? And so I did that, and then I have made some like the closest friends ever from getting into it.
Everybody is?
Yo, get out of here, bro.
Making a lot of friends in the content creation area. It's not weird, but it's kind of funny how they came to me because of my setup, and they're like, yo, you have a super cool setup, like, got any points or like tips for mine? And I would like give them advice or help them pick out new things for like their setup. And then eventually they would be like, yo, like, you game? And I was like, yeah, like, I do, but not too serious. And they started inviting me to like play like Valorant or Overwatch. And then eventually it just became like off stream, we're chilling in voice chat. Been friends with them for, I think, since like 2020, 2021.
It was not me. It was not me.
I don't know. Latest too quiet for this
boy
game.
is telling y'all the truth. Why y'all trying
I
to
don't want
me out? No, hold up. Blade been real quiet, man.
Yeah, Blade, you're quiet.
I would say the craziest thing that we've done, I'm hosting like a small little custom scrimmage in Overwatch like at the end of this month. I did like a test one just to make sure I got like the settings for it and stuff right. And I was only expecting like 3 people to like come by, but like slowly but surely, like my friend trickled in, and then his friends trickled in, and then some of my friends trickled in, and it actually became so big that we had to like rotate out. We got some really good clips, so it was pretty cool. Yeah, Overwatch is like, I don't rage with the game, but it's one of those like I hate it, but then I love it so much at the same time, like I can't put it down. It was one of my first PvP games next to like Apex. I really connected with Overwatch because of the story and the diversity. I know that sometimes the community isn't the best, but I've met like some really cool people so far. I actually went to DreamHack through the nonprofit that I'm with, and I met the voice actor for Symmetra, and it was super cool. It was like a full circle moment in a way, because that was like my first main in Overwatch, so it was pretty cool. And so growing up, I always felt more like tomboyish than girly, which there's nothing wrong with either one. But my whole life has kind of been a struggle to be able to see myself femininely, because everyone around me has always seen me as like, oh, like you're not girly or anything like that. And so especially playing video games, I was never really taken serious when it came to being feminine. And then once I started playing games online and I would try to, you know, talk, it was just like rough. It's like, I'm not even gonna listen to you because you're a girl. And I just hate that, because it's like, why can't I just talk in VC like anybody else would? Like, even being a woman of color, I would say. It's weird because it's like, you don't know what anyone looks like behind the screen, and then it just comes out of nowhere, and it's like, what does that have to do with anything? Or like, you're a girl, like, shut up, you don't know how to play, like, bottom boarding. Meanwhile, I'm like carrying. But it's like, that doesn't even matter to me for the most part when I'm playing like a game, but it does to other people, and it will just because I'm like a woman, and it's dumb. There's been companies, I guess, that have tried to put like ads like, hey, like, let's respect everyone like in the gaming space, and it's just received poorly. Instead of using like an example, like actually do it. Like, instead of being like, oh, women belong in like esport, like make the esports teams, broadcast like, you know, the all women's team, make it known that people like can exist together like in the space without, you know, shutting people out just because they're one thing or another. Broadcast Her, it was interesting. I got into their Discord around the end of 2020. When I first entered their community, it was kind of like, I was in awe by how many like people like me, but it was so cool to know that like I could reach out to someone at any point, or it would be fine for me to join someone's like scrimmage or like their game, or go check out someone's stream and just have like a safe space. I would try to support as many streamers in there as possible, or keep up with the events, because they do like fundraisers and stuff like that. And even though I'm not into like the whole casting and like behind the scenes aspect, I still thought it was very cool because I knew other women that were into that. So I would subtly like push my friends like, hey, like you can go check this out. And some of them actually did, which is really cool. But it's been nothing short of like a positive experience and like a really welcoming community. Today it's been so crazy. I'm still trying to like process everything, like touring the arena. It was insane even when I found out that I won like the grant and stuff like that, and the trip to come here, because HyperX was like one of the first brands I started using like for my setup and my keyboard. So I was like, oh, they actually have like a gaming arena, which I had no clue existed. And then I came in here last night as well to come play some games downstairs on the computer. And now seeing the behind the scenes today, I'm like, oh crap, like this place is huge. And it's a really, really big experience. And I'm so happy to like be here.
Let's go. Let's go.
Within the next 5 years, I would like to be doing content creation full time. I would say I don't think I necessarily need to have a huge social media presence, but I would definitely like to be able to network more and put myself out there, whether it's helping out with smaller, indie projects or maybe even something bigger. I definitely want to, because, people change like what they want to do within that type of span, but I'd hope that I'm still aiming towards like gaming journalism. I would hope to maybe work for not necessarily like IGN or something like that, but like maybe even working for a company like Ubisoft, Blizzard, EA, and review their games honestly, and even help playtest or kind of help things get to a way where the releases aren't too bad. I like to be in a position where I'm doing something like this, where I'm helping women and femmes get into the gaming industry in an easier way, especially if they're like not in a good place financially, because I know it can be really hard to invest in the things that you want to do when you don't have the funds to do so. This is going to be so cheesy, but the best advice I can say is that it does get better. Like there were so many times in my life where I was like, this is it. Like we're not getting any farther than this, and I'm literally like here today. So it really does get better. You just have to keep going. There's a light at the end of the tunnel, and like my grandma always says, keep a smile on your face and a song in your heart.